And Auburn right now, to me, still looks like the best team in the SEC.
Oh, Coach Bruce Pearl will be happy to hear you say that, Jim.
Well, I don't know if he's happy to hear me say
If he
that.
knows the background of Jimmy won't.
If he knows my history of predicting games, he would not be happy
Coach
to hear
is
that.
on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. I mean, what a compliment coming in to the interview there by Jim, Coach. Hope you're doing well today.
Yeah. Well, we might have the best record right now, but there's still a long way to go to determine who the best teams. But I guess you guys wouldn't have a job if you weren't able to, make those sort of predictions, right? That's what you guys are paid to do.
That's right, absolutely. We're just trying to put food on the table.
Exactly.
Yeah, we obviously want to talk about your team, but since we started there, from a very untrained eye as myself, this appears to be about as deep the top of the SEC has been in quite a while.
Yeah, it's really good. I had said at the beginning of the year that there'll be 7 in the NCAA tournament, and I don't know when we've ever gotten 7. And an outside shot at 8, but I think 7's a number that's very, very realistic. And as a result, when we finished 5th the year we went to the Final Four, and that means there are 4 teams finished ahead of us. If you can finish, if you're an NCAA tournament team coming out of the SEC, you can get to the Final Four. South Carolina proved that a few years ago. Obviously, we proved it a couple of years ago, and so. It's going to make for. So the idea about who the best team is right now, you know what? That's why you play the games. There's just no way that anybody can not say it could be Kentucky, or it could be LSU, it could be Auburn, it could be Alabama, it could be Tennessee, it could be Florida, it could be Mississippi State. It's just too early to tell.
Can we talk about Walker Kessler? First of all, it's hard to find 7'1" guys walking around. Then you got a 7'1" guy that's got the skill set of Kessler, a guy that can shoot it, a guy that is a huge rim protector, and a guy that was at North Carolina. Just tell me how the process of Kessler leaving North Carolina and landing at Auburn, how that all went down.
Well, first of all, Stephen Pearl did a phenomenal job recruiting Walker, starting with his sophomore year in high school. And Walker was really slated to come to Auburn out of high school. His family are all Georgia Bulldogs, and they are great Georgia fans and a family. And so it's hard to try to, if he was going to go, North Carolina kind of took him out of that situation. And but we had done such a great job in that relationship that when things didn't work out great in North Carolina and he was looking to transfer, we had to beat Duke and Virginia and Gonzaga and Michigan and everybody else. He wanted to come home. His family has a place at Lake Martin, and even though he's a Georgia Bulldog, he always had a great respect and appreciation for Auburn and Auburn family, and now he's a part of it, and he's going to be an Auburn man in that family forever. The biggest thing about Walker is this: he's 7'1", but he's an athlete. He can move. He's quick. And nobody ever really believed it. Like, oh, my God, don't ever switch off on a guard. You can't guard a guard. And I'm sitting there going, no. You're going to switch off on a guard. And you're going to be long enough to contest a three-point shot. And if he takes it to the rim, meet him there. And welcome to my world. and then in ball screens, people would drop cover him in ball screens and wouldn't let him get out there and extend. Well, guess what? We're out there having him trapping ball screens and extending ball screens, using his length and his athleticism and his quickness. Stop playing like you're 7'1", except when you're at the rim. There's 94 feet in a basketball floor, and 90 feet of that real estate is away from the rim, and act like it. And Walker's done a phenomenal job with that.
Yeah, got a run out last night, called for the ball, great pass, dunked it backwards, and can run the floor on the break as well. Bruce Pearl's with us on the next round. Where are you on your defense right now? Because I watch you guys play, and your defense is gritty. It's nasty. How much do you like your defensive team right now?
Defense just travels. Defense and rebounding win championships. That's the bottom line. And listen, again, I go back to our Final Four team, or one of my best teams at Tennessee that was an Elite Eight team. They were my best defensive clubs. And you're going to have nights offensively where you're going to be hot or cold, and you're going to win or lose. When you're defending and rebounding night in and night out, which is a controllable. That's a control. But sports, you can't control a lot of things. You can control your defense and your rebounding. And that's what we've really focused on with this group. And they bought in. And we can and we need to get better, because we have as effective as we've been, we've still got plenty of breakdowns.
Coach Bruce Pearl on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. You played that game last night without Alan Flanagan, and that's unfortunately been an issue for you most of the season. What is the update on him? And with he and Jabari Smith, Jabari was on the bench a good bit. I know you don't choose that, but I think you had to be happy about how your team responded to that.
Yeah, Jabari had some foul trouble in the first half, and it was great. Jalen Williams came in and played really well. Chris Moore came in and played really well. And that bench was terrific, especially, in the first half. And then as far as Al's concerned, guys, all year long, this COVID virus and the protocols, they're going to have something to do with what kids are available night in and night out. They just are. And so we didn't have a single COVID issue a year ago, and I've already had a couple, because obviously this Omicron variant is more contagious. Now, fortunately, the illness doesn't last very long, and it's not very serious. But the way the protocols are, if you're having symptoms and you're tested and you're out, and then anyways, that's going to be a factor, and you're going to see there are going to be big games where two kids are gone and they're not available. So perhaps our depth could help us in the long run this year.
You guys are obviously in a good spot. You've won 10 straight. You're 13-1. You're 2-0 in the league. But if there is something you guys need to work on to get better, what is it?
Well, I think we're turning it over too much, and that would be an issue. So we turned it over 21 times against LSU, 17 against South Carolina. Florida comes in. They're a really good defensive team. It's going to be interesting to watch the game tonight down in Florida, with Alabama. Florida. Alabama, might be the best offensive team in our league, and Florida is one of the better defensive teams. And when I say that's interesting, because we just played a really good defense in LSU, we played a really good defense in South Carolina, and so it's going to be interesting to see. But we got to take better care of the basketball.
This team seems deeper than your Final Four team. Do you get tired of people like me asking questions, comparing you every year to your Final Four team? But we've only had one in our state, so it's our only comparison. But this team does seem deeper.
Well, you didn't compare last year's team to my Final Four team. So
well, I did, but not in a positive way.
Well, last year we were all freshmen, so that was part of our deal. We're deep, and the key is this. Can we continue to get better? While we're winning. And that's just a real focus for us. And so, this team definitely has demonstrated that we have a chance. We've got enough depth, we've got enough inside, we've got enough outside, and I think one of the most important thing is they like each other, and they're close. Now, we haven't stubbed our toe yet. We haven't faced a lot of adversity. Look, I tell you, the next 3 games. All right, we're 1-2 at home against Florida since I've been here. 1-2. All right, we're 2-4 at Alabama since I've been here. We're 2-4 at Ole Miss since I've been here. Okay, that's not very good, and those are the next 3 games. Now, we were also 1-3 at South Carolina. We're now 2-3, so that was a good step. But it's a grind, and that's why it's way too soon to decide who the best team in the league is. That's going to be decided on the court.
7 o'clock Saturday, Auburn Arena. If you cannot make it, ESPN2 as Auburn takes on Florida. The Tigers 2-0 and their SEC start. Coach, thank you so much for the time. It is always great talking with you.
Really good catching up with you guys. Take care. War Eagle.
You too. Take care, Coach. That is Coach Bruce Pearl with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.